Hey guys! Is it like a law or something that YouTubers have to say, hey guys? Anyways, so thanks for watching my video, and please consider subscribing. Dude! What are you doing?
I'm shooting my YouTube video.
I know, but there's a whole planet. Why do you have to stand there?
Because everyone knows this empty parking lot gets the best reception.
Good call.
Guys, this is the problem with life.
Thanks for watching my video, and I hope to see you soon. Keep subscribing. Kick that mule, Lee. You get the idea, you get the idea, you get the idea, you get the idea. Okay, cool. If you like that theme song, it's on my album called That Ginger's Crazy. That Ginger's Crazy, my second album. I have 4 comedy albums out. First one is called Shady Side, which is interesting to hear if you listen to it. I recorded it in the year 2000, and my voice is a lot higher. I don't know if it's because I was nervous or just younger. But I'm like, yeah, guys, what's going on? It's called Shady Side. And then the next one is called That Ginger's Crazy. Oh, it's still playing. Ooh, look at that. And then the third one is called Stay, because I kept hearing this phrase like, I'm a stay-at-home dad or I'm a stay-at-home mom. And one day I was like, you know what? It'd be funny if someone's like, I'm a stay-at-home stripper. Yeah, nobody will hire me. I'm highly unemployed. I'm a stay-at-home stripper. How are we doing on the levels here? My new album is called The Party Continues. What am I doing? Just plugging myself? Yes, why not? And also, if you guys are interested in my sponsor, it's called The Thai Room in Burbank, 821, yes, there we go, 821 North Hollywood Way, The Thai Room. Enough of the plugs. Okay, so I got a friend calling in, and actually I'm going to call him. I'm excited because I don't know what I'm doing. I want to say this is my 6th episode. In each episode, I keep figuring out better ways to make the quality sound better, the sound quality. And so I'm using my H4n Pro with my Shure microphones, Shure 58 microphones. And I have a Bluetooth Bose speaker. And I believe that's another way I can make a phone call. Because before I was using it with the Anchor app, episodes 2 and 3. And it works, it's doable, but it's sometimes the phone drops. It sounds like the person you're talking to is going through a canyon. So I wanted it to be the best crystal clear sound I could get. And in fact, the first solo podcast I did is when I decided to use the recorder and the microphones. And I played it for my wife, and she's like, why are you talking so quiet? Because I didn't realize like you could turn up the recording sound, the whatever it's called. Yeah, the recording sound, the recording levels. She goes, it sounds like you're doing a secret podcast. You guys want to hear a secret? Yeah, it is a secret because there's just the 3 of us. Me and my 2 listeners. Kidding. It's already getting some... Oh, man, I was going to do some shout-outs. Oh, my gosh. Oh, whoa, what were the names? I forget the names. I love you guys. Everybody that's commented and left a comment on iTunes. You guys are incredible. Let's go. I can just do it right now, I think, right? Podcasts. Type my own name in. Oh, yeah, there was a new one that came up there, and I was so excited. And that dude always comments on everything. He's so cool. Okay, here we go. What the heck? That's not my podcast? Okay, here we go. Maybe I need to go to store. Yeah, is that what I need to do? Or something like that. Oh, there we go. Store. Okay, cool. All right. Hold on 1 second. Darren Carter. Darren Carter. Here we go. Oh, yes. Here we go. Big shout out right now to, there it is, Mike Bagak. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Mike Bagak. He writes, one of the hardest working comics in the entire world. Listen to the Party Starter. Thank you, Mike. And I appreciate you always leaving a comment on all my stuff if you get a chance when you do see it. I really appreciate that. That guy's a huge supporter. As my buddy Dean Del Rey says, yeah, you need 1,000 true fans. Just 1,000. So I really appreciate it. And we also have another guy or girl, I'm not sure, called Please Read. PLZ is their name. PLZ Read. And they wrote, keep it going, Mr. Party Starter. Thanks for the content. I like my women like I like my podcast. Subscribed and many special guests. Oh, yeah. Okay, speaking of a special guest right now, I'm going to call him. Let's see if this works. This is my buddy Tarun Shetty. Tarun Shetty. Come on, my man. Let's see if this thing works. I got my setup going. I'm going to click that little link. Nope, it went straight to voicemail. You mother effer. All right.
176.
Shit, dude, come on.
Call ended.
I told him, I said, hey, I'm going to call you. And this guy, I love him, but he's like, I need to meditate. Who needs to meditate right when I tell him I'm going to call him? I don't know. Maybe he thinks I have more listeners than I do. He's all nervous. I got to meditate. Or maybe he just left his phone on silent. I don't know. He's an interesting guy, and that's why I want to talk about this, man. This guy is like you know what? I went jogging, and when I started to walk, I found some money on the ground, and that got me thinking, what's the most amount of money you've ever found? Oh wait, is he there? Hello? Oh wait, hold on. We're going live. Let's see if this works. Hello, can you say something? Yo, I think it's working. Just keep talking. Say hello.
Hello.
Yes, it's working. Perfect. Let me check your levels real quick. Go ahead and talk.
What's up?
Yes, he's so talkative. Okay. Dude, this is fantastic. Thank you for being on Pocket Party Podcast.
Amazing, dude. I'm excited.
Dude, this is very exciting. As I was telling the listeners, we can do it through the Anchor app, but I think this is even better. And what I'm doing is I basically what they call jerry-rigging it, like when you do that, the mechanics, is I took a microphone and I'm holding it up to my stereo speaker and I'm calling you through the Bluetooth stereo speaker. Thank you.
Cool.
Where shall we start, man? Dude, Tarun has done so many. He's got a lot. He's got a million TV credits. He's done a lot of things. He's been in comedy. He's from New Hampshire and New York, and he moved out to L.A. and he has a movie airing on Amazon right now. What the name of the movie is called?
It's called Terminator 2. And
no, forget that one. Tell him about the other one.
It's a sequel. It's called Bobby Khan's Ticket to Hollywood.
Bobby
So,
Khan's.
Check it out. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's a great little comedy movie.
How many minutes long is it?
It's about an hour and a half, hour 20 minutes.
You know what's cool is you were kind enough to let me audition, and I actually booked the role. And I was at the Comedy and Magic Club performing, and some people came up to me and recognized me from the movie. I was shocked. I was like, really? Like, because usually when people recognize me from a movie, it's usually Be Cool, and it's because I'm in the beginning of Be Cool with John Travolta, and it's either that or some people have recognized me from. I did one called Who Made the Potato Salad, and it's starring Jalil White, who played Urkel, and it's sometimes they air that I think on like Bounce Television or BET. But this is a couple that an Asian couple, and it was funny because they didn't recognize me from Be Cool or the urban film. It was your movie, and I was like, yes. And they're like, oh yeah, Russell Peters is in it. And I'm like, yep, that's the one I'm in. I can't believe it. You saw it. So good for you, Tarun, getting the movie out there.
Yeah. No, we're proud of it. We put a lot of time into it, and we're happy with how it came out.
Man, there's so much to talk to you. I love you. I'm so inspired. You guys, if you want to be inspired by somebody, this is the guy that will just inspire you, because you know how some people are dreamers and they're like, I'm going to do it, and then they never do it, or they have their plans of whatever their plans are. Tarun actually does. If he gets an idea in his head, he's following through. You don't put things off. You're not a procrastinator.
I know. Today I jerked off like 3 times. I was like, I'm going to do it.
I said I was going to do it, and damn it, I am going to do it.
No, I'm kidding. No.
That's hilarious. I usually try to keep a cleaner vibe to my podcast, but screw it. He's the Indian Dice Clay. Oh, by the way, he's Indian, people. Just in case you're wondering.
I'm Native American.
How?
Sorry, I'll take this serious.
I know. No, do what you. No, that sounds boring. All super the serious part. Deep inside the mind of a guest you've never heard of. You know him from Amazon Prime. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Dude, I hope this is recording. All right, I think it is. Yes, it is recording. I'm like, dude, I'm actually I get kind of nervous still doing this, because it's like I'm always afraid I'm gonna do it, then it's gonna like not work or something. Do you get? Anyways, that's boring. Who cares about that?
That's reassuring.
That's reassuring. Yeah, you mean well, that's why
Hey, I'm gonna waste your time.
I'm gonna wait. I
Nice.
know you were busy meditating. I'm gonna interrupt it with my bullshit. Do my podcast. I know. See, well, that's the thing. I want to like I want to work all the kinks out, and then until,
Nice. When you get a real guest,
I know. I'm like, let me before I move on to the real
who
guest.
focus on you before I get Dean Del Rey.
Dean Del Rey. Why is he getting plugged twice on my podcast? I'm like, let me make it as easy as possible. Like, hey, I'm literally gonna put a phone up to a speaker. All you gotta do is be in your living room and like talk to me. It's so funny because I was talking to my buddy Esther Koo. I don't know if you know Esther. She I saw her at the Comedy Store last night, and she's on all these big podcasts and radio shows, and she's got a podcast. And I was like, I go, I don't like being tied down to having a guest. I kind of like doing a solo podcast. I want to get better at it, and then she's like, why? She goes, you should talk to, as long as you got someone to bounce off of, it doesn't matter. I mean, it could even be like an open micer. Like you do most of the talking and just have them like, and I'm like, it was just interesting when she was saying that, like her theory. And then I talked to Sam Tripoli. Sam Tripoli was like saying like, right. He was like, dude, you want to get like 7 topics. And then you do like a subset on each topic and say, okay, these are the 3 things I'm going to say about that topic. Next thing you know, dude, you've done an hour. Like, it's interesting, everybody's take on it, But at the end, Esther was, she was going to leave. She goes, hey, I'm going to go in the back and smoke pot. She's like, do you smoke pot? And I'm like, no, I don't. And then she's like, that's why you don't have any friends and you have to do a solo podcast.
That's funny.
I was like, oh, thanks, Esther. Yeah. Yeah, I should go back there and fake it just so I can get guests. Hey, you want to be on my podcast?
Right.
Yeah, we went ahead there and start doing weed. But where do you want to start? There's so much to talk about. What do I want to tell you? Oh, can we start with something I'm genuinely interested in? Go ahead.
Let's get right to the end.
Let's get right to the end. And then I jerked off. No.
No. What do you want to know? Go.
No, here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know. You're lucky, dude. You've got okay. Do we start out with like some of the people some of the day job stuff you've done in LA, or should I start with the school that you started out with?
Whatever you want, dude.
Okay, let's. All right. Okay. Let me ask you. Okay, so we have totally different upbringings. All right. Like I was raised on the West Coast, and grew up in a foster family. I'm adopted. I don't even know if you knew that or not, but blue collar type of neighborhood. And I found out that you're from your parents are pretty well off, I guess. Your mom and dad.
I mean, my dad's a doctor. I wouldn't say.
You're like, yeah, compared to you orphan. I grew up in foster care. You guys are rich. Your cars had 4 doors. You guys had Hondas and Toyotas. We were stuck with Fords and Chevys. No, but okay. Here's my point. You went to boarding school. Okay, so
Right.
So fill an hour. Tell us about it. No. What was that like though? Would you have I believe you have like 2 brothers. You have siblings. Your parents are doctors. You went to boarding school. Does that mean you're away from your mom and dad when you go to boarding school?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, sorry. I was meditating. No. I said, when you go to boarding school, does that mean you're away from your mom and dad?
Yeah. Well, I'm the middle child, so my older brother went to boarding school, and it was a good experience for him. So my parents, and also the town I grew up in, it's a good town, and it's a good school. But my parents wanted me to have a great education, so. And they had the means to send me to boarding school, which I'm very fortunate. So I went to a boarding school in New Hampshire. And it was like 45 minutes away from my house. So I could technically come home on weekends if I wanted to.
Oh. But when you didn't, so you'd be gone for like a month at a time, or like for the whole semester, I guess?
I mean, yeah, I'd come back a couple times a semester. Sometimes I'd come back, it really depended on like the work I had, that month. But I'd try to come back ever possible, but you're so busy in school, they fill up your schedule.
Wow. It's funny, my buddy Agostino Zoida, from the Homeschooled podcast, he was homeschooled. He never even went to public school, private school, nothing. He stayed. That's like 100% opposite than you. Like, can you imagine like staying, like never leaving?
Yeah, I mean, I know some people who were homeschooled and they were really successful in life. So I think it's a
Yeah.
matter of what you think of it.
Yeah. Boarding school. And then after that, did you go to NYU?
Yeah, I went to NYU.
Wow.
So,
Here,
um,
okay, here's a trail we can go down. I love this, man. Okay, when I said you get stuff done. Okay. Um, I'm going to, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I interpret this story is, you came out to LA, you did comedy, you still do comedy, you still get out there. But there's part of you that's like, okay, let me pay the bills. Let me get a little side day job here. But you're so educated that you look the part we were talking about. Like people are like they hire you, so you've worked for some pretty big like firms and stuff, right? Like agencies and publicist stuff.
I did after I never really had a day job. I mean, I always had these part-time jobs here and there up until I was like I made that movie, Bobby Khan, when I was around like 30, 31. And then after I made that movie, I was like, all right, now what? And I was kind of just broke and I was kind of lost. So I got a job at an agency, at a talent agency. And I kind of started in the mailroom. I kind of started over again in entertainment, and I kind of worked my way up as an assistant. And then I went from there to a management company, and then from there to another company. So I was always creating content. I was always producing and making stuff on the side, and always doing stand up. But I kind of balanced this professional life as well,
Yeah.
just to pay the bills.
Yeah, and I read one of your blogs where at the time you were wearing like a really expensive watch and dress shirts and like sort of you felt like you were sort of playing the part. Like, and were you happy during that time?
I was happy in the sense of I had money because
Yeah, yeah.
as a comedian, it's like you're always just
Looking for that next
swimming
gig.
upstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always looking to just kind of pay the bills. So I think I tried to have a normal life because for a long time I didn't have a normal life. I didn't have I couldn't get married. I felt this need to have money to get a girlfriend or just even buying the groceries, whatever. So I mean, I did enjoy
Dude, I know.
all the amenities that come with having a job.
Yeah, the security,
And,
a friend of mine calls it the golden handcuffs. In a sense, where when you have the job for so long, and then you're like, you don't want to look back and be like, man, I never did really what I wanted to do. That's what I guess the golden handcuffs is because it's so secure, but then you're not free. But I know what you're saying. Financial freedom, you need that. I remember one time before my son was born. My wife and I were married, and 20 years now. I'll be 21 this August. And there was a moment I remember clearly. I was literally in the shower. I don't know if there's something about water pouring over your body. Some of your best ideas come. You sing better. You feel very clear. And I remember having a sad feeling of going like, wow, I don't know if I'll ever have enough money to have a child, to have a family. Like I remember thinking like, I've had some big breaks. Been in a few movies, did the Tonight Show, but still I'm still doing those gigs like nothing's really and then then eventually my wife did get pregnant and we're raising him, and it's like it's not as scary as I thought. Before you have a kid you're like, wow, how am I ever going to do it? And next thing you know you're like, wow, we're actually doing it. But
right.
That's a thing. So I get you, man, when you were like, let me try to earn some cash. Now, what I thought was interesting, and I love this part of the story, is there must have came a time when you just like hit a wall and you're like, you know what, I need to like just take a break from like these show business type like day job stuff, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I never felt like I was truly me, but
Yeah.
but it was satisfying being able to use another part of my brain, which I knew I could do. But I left. I mean, I technically was kind of fired from my last job, so it was kind of just it's divine intervention or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Just piecing me out and forcing me to go back to stand up and making money. And I was doing modeling jobs in my 20s, so I kind of called my agents up. I was like, hey, can you send me out for auditions? So I kind of had to do that. And you know what? I had a few clients when I left too. I don't really have them anymore, but I was working with a few clients that I was doing these digital deals for, like influencers, and getting them brand deals. So you kind of figure it out. You kind of go with the flow of it.
Yeah. Now the part I want to get to is the part where you said, screw it, I just want to like clock out with life and just go. Because a lot of people have that dream where they're like, I just want to walk away from it all and just like do some menial labor job. And like I talked to Fred Stoller, and Fred was like, if you guys know Fred Stoller, he was in like Everybody Loves Raymond and all these. He was in like Dumb and Dumber and written a couple of great books. And he kind of talks like this, and he's like, Darren, sometimes I just have these fantasies of just walking away from Hollywood and driving a school bus up in Sacramento. And it sounds great.
Right.
It sounds great to do that, right? That fantasy of like, screw stand-up, screw everything. I just want to go, milk cows in Montana. So I guess you had this idea. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna, and you're like, I'm just gonna. And you want to tell us what you did?
In terms of
like when you walked away from Hollywood and you went
when I quit my job.
When you walked away from it all and said, I need to take a break from the wearing this expensive shirts and watches and trying to impress people. I'm gonna tell them what you did. You went over the hill into Burbank and got a job.
Yeah. So basically, I left my job and I started working with influencers to make money, and I was doing comedy and stuff. And then a few of my clients kind of pieced out, so like they moved back to wherever they were. I was repping like young 20-year-olds.
Oh wow!
So I was like, once they left, it was hard, and I got a job selling cars at CarMax. So I was there for like 3 months.
That's what I love. You're like, screw it. I'm just going to sell cars. I just want to walk away from you guys. Screw you, Hollywood. Double middle fingers. Peace out myself. And then you go and you're like, I'm going to sell cars. And now the first day where you're like, yes, this is what I like. I don't have to, or was it a wake-up call?
No, I mean, I needed to make money. I mean, it wasn't, I wasn't like, oh, I really want to sell cars and drive to Burbank every day. That's amazing. No, I really did need the money. And
I thought it was like a fantasy where you're like, I just want to clock in, sell cars.
Fantasy at all. I mean, it was it was nice to not have to do showbiz stuff, because I mean, I don't know why, but everything in showbiz is just kind of operates on its own, its own set of rules. Like there's no impunity if you work on the agency side, and on the entertainment side, it's talent. Like nobody really gives a shit. And there's a certain freedom of just doing something not related to showbiz, and I did enjoy that. But at the same time, when you train as a stand-up, when you train as an actor, whatever, as an agent, you have all these skill sets that you'd like to use. Yeah. So I did kind of miss a lot of showbiz stuff when I was selling cars, but a lot of good came out of it too. It was all great timing.
When you say you worked with young influencers, would I be considered a middle-aged influencer?
Yeah, you'd be considered middle-aged.
Oh, is that the
but
compliment?
I was working with like 20-year-olds, like 21-year-olds who had like 1 million plus Instagram followers.
Oh,
so I would get them like brand deals and stuff.
Oh, well, what could you do for someone that has like 7,500?
Nothing.
You're like, I'll do their podcast. That's what I'll do.
No.
I'll maybe call on a phone to their podcast.
Well, I'll tell you honestly, the great thing about this influencer market is you don't need 1 million followers to make money. Even like you get 10,000 like micro influencers, those guys are making money. Maybe not as much as.
Ooh, I like that. I'm a micro influencer.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's always a market for a demographic. So it depends like who you appeal to, and it's a matter of you pitching yourself to that brand market. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the connection between the audience and the brand.
I like that. And you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I'm not chasing a thing of what do I want to do. I want to be like this comic because they're like cool and I know what I want to do. I like adding light to the world. I like being positive. I like if I find something that's interesting to me, I like to share it.
Right.
It's kind of funny because I use that flashlight on stage, but it's true though. I do like to add light to the world. That's a little bit punny, but it's true though, man. You and I, we hang out and like we like to do something that makes people feel good. Like, we went to that Thai restaurant, the Thai Room, the sponsor of the podcast, and we're like, man, we could help these guys. Like, this is we have the talent and the know-how. Let's do something for them. So we went in there and we shot a commercial for them and just gave it to them. We're like, use it, man. Have fun with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
That's cool. As opposed to maybe another comic who wouldn't even think like that, who might be like, you know, I want to go on Facebook and start a Facebook war with someone that stole my joke or whatever. Which, what does that do? It's just negative, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think, especially as you get older, you kind of want to be authentically you, and
Yeah.
you're kind of done with the bullshit of trying to figure out what the market wants and try to fit into, put a.
So here's what I thought was amazing.
Put a round peg into a square hole.
Yeah, I like that. That's here's the part I thought was amazing. So, you know, you get this day job selling cars, and how long were you there before Charlie approached you?
I met Charlie on the second day, actually.
So I love this. You guys are gonna love this story. Second day, this guy comes up to him and he's like, "Dude, I looked your name up on IMDb. Why the hell are you here?" He's like, "You have this. You've done this. You've done that. You've got TV shows, movies. You had a web series that has, you know, over like 1 million subscribers on YouTube. What the hell are you selling cars for?" He's like, "I'm a writer." And he's like, "Dude, this is he goes, "What a fall from grace. This would be a great TV show." And you're like, "Great." So
Yeah,
then, yeah. So then later, I know it probably didn't happen exactly like that, but I like, you know, yeah, I'm sure he's thinking that. He's not saying it out loud. What a fall from grace. This guy's a douche. No, but then what happened is this guy he actually like writes a script, and he said, "What do you think?" Because I remember you at that time, you were like, "Dude, yeah, it was actually pretty good." And then he wrote a script where there's a guy that has to sell cars, and it's called No Money Down. And then the two of you produced it and actually got it done. You called around, you filmed it, you had auditions, you cast people, you paid them. It's out there now. You guys it's gonna happen. It's a pilot. It's amazing. And by the way, I'm in it. By the way, I am in it. And
Yep.
Which is great. So thank you. These people, listen. When I say we want to inspire, motivate, and, you know, hopefully entertain, I know that's what I'm saying with this podcast. It's like Tarun was he wasn't just like, you know, we've all had those people where we're like, I'm talking to listeners now, Tarun, where they're like, "Hey, this would be funny, man. They should do a sitcom about our workplace." And then they change. Now they say like, they should do a reality show about our workplace. Well, Tarun Shetty and Charlie Herman, they're not those kind of people, man. They're like, "We should do this. Let's do it." And 5 days later or whatever, it's done, you know. Tarun needed a place to shoot a car lot. Did you call your old car lot to see if you could film there? And
My old.
Yeah.
I mean, CarMax.
Yeah. Car World or whatever.
No, because we were still working at CarMax.
See, listen to that, you guys. They were still working there, so they didn't even call their own place. And guess what? Tarun must have called like not just one place, not just two. How many places did you call before you?
Three.
Three. That's right.
I call it 50. I think.
He called 50. Yeah. He called 50 places. Imagine cold calling 50 car dealerships. And what did you say? Like, let's go through it. Let me practice. Hi, Car World. How can I help you?
Click.
Wait, no. Well, no wonder they hung up on you. Well, let's just do a fake phone call. Hi, welcome to Car World Burbank. How can I help you?
Hey, how's it going? My name's Tarun Shetty. I'm a person on Earth, and you know what I would do, Darren? I would basically, I forget the whole spiel what I would do, but I would basically try to connect with them and be like, "Hey, look, I'm a guy. I sell cars during the day. I've also produced a lot of content, you know, and we have this great thing about making cars. About that, you know, nothing's really been explored in the world of car sales. So I tried to like kind of find some kind of just way to pitch it where they'd be interested, even though I knew the script. I mean, it doesn't really paint cars in the best light.
It's like Breaking Bad meets 40-Year-Old Virgin.
But and also I also knew that whoever picked up the phone wasn't going to be the right person to pitch to. Yeah. So a lot of it was I'd give them like maybe a 20-second spiel and be like, "Look, are you the right person to talk to, or is there somebody else?" So I'd always try to figure out who was the decision maker there, and most of the time it would be like, "Oh, you got to call corporate, or that person's not here, or give me an email." And literally, I think only one person was generally interested, and that was the place where we shot at.
That's so cool, though. See, you know, they keep saying it takes, you know, what is like 1,000 no's and somebody will say yes, or it takes this amount of no's and then you're just getting closer to that yes, getting closer to that yes. You know?
Yeah.
I love stuff like that, you know? Man, so you guys, you filmed it, you found locations, you found the right actors. That's incredible, man.
Well, a lot of it was Charlie too. It wasn't just me. Charlie did a lot for the production, and we wouldn't have gotten it made without his hard work.
So good. I mean, but that just goes to show like everything you've done. Like today, like for example, I texted you or something. You were like, "Hey, I'm working on my YouTube channel," and I'm like, and you do stuff. You don't just like say you're going to do it. You actually did. Now, how can we, for those of us that have a YouTube channel, what do you recommend to do to make the YouTube channel look better?
I'm trying to figure it out. Well, go to someone who's got a lot of followers and just copy their page. Just blatantly rip it off. There's no rule on YouTube. So figure out who's killing it, and then go to their page and do what they do on their homepage. And you can find any video on how to do stuff, like whether it's making a trailer or organizing your page into sections or putting thumbnails. I mean, all this stuff.
It's so true. It's what I do. There was about 6 months ago, I changed my thinking with YouTube. I was at a comedy club, and somebody was like, "Hey, we came to see you. We saw you on YouTube." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you. Thanks for going to YouTube." And they're like, "Yeah, there's 2 other comedy clubs, and we looked up each comedian for each club, and we like yours the best." And that was said to me, by the way, a while ago, like years ago. And I was like, "Oh, perfect," because I have a couple videos out there that were put up by other people. Like I did a DVD. Or a thing on Showtime or something. So whatever, it's Salient Media, whatever the media company is, they put it out there. In fact, it got to be on the home page of YouTube for one day, and that was a wake up call, because you know how like most of the stuff you put on social media, it's you yourself putting it on, but when someone else puts it on, that's when all of a sudden you can't like, what am I saying? You can't vet the comments, or what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I mean? Like screen the comments, and because it was on the home page of YouTube. Everybody and that's when I realized, like, oh, strangers can sometimes be mean. you know, like I was doing Snoop Dogg, and I did a great Snoop Dogg. Here, I'll do it for you guys. Well, yeah, what's cracking? It's the Dico Double G, the big Snoop Dogg. Maybe was a virgin. That's what you get the idea, right? So I'm doing Snoop Dogg, doing my jokes, and but I happen to be wearing boots, and so somebody was like, "This redneck's doing impressions of Snoop Dogg," and he said something like, "Black people would hate that." And I'm like, "You idiot. I performed at Snoop Dogg's family's reunion 2 years in a row. Like, stop." I don't know, whatever. So then I realized you can't get caught up in the YouTube comments or whatever. And then, the hate that can be out there. But,
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you watch so anyways, I changed my thinking. I'm like, okay, enough of the, it's not just good enough to have 1 or 2 great videos a year. I like to interact and put stuff up a lot. So my goal right now is I try to put up between, 1 and maybe 3 or 4 things a week on YouTube. Why not? Gary Vee has that book called Crushing It, right? And one of the things he says in the book is that when we went from radio to television, that's kind of like the way it is now with social media. Look at Twitter is channel 2, YouTube is channel 3, Instagram is channel 4, podcasting is channel 5, so on and so forth,
Yep.
I like what you said. This is inspirational, you guys. Listen to this. There's a comic that we know. You don't have to say his name, but how many followers did you say he has? About
who?
The guy we talked to. Remember earlier on the phone? The guy that has a lot of followers. Our friend.
Oh, 100,000.
He's got 100,000 followers. Now he put up a video. Get this, 100,000. Do that. Say that same thing he said on the phone earlier. He's got 100,000 followers. He puts up a video. How many views does it get?
Maybe like 1,000.
Yeah, it gets 1,000 views. And then say that thing you said earlier to me about how many followers we have.
Well, basically, I mean, look, we have about 1,100 followers, so we're averaging whatever we get. That's about average. So I mean, YouTube is so saturated right now, but we're still getting the right amount of hits for what we're doing. So
no, I like what you said earlier. It was more positive.
Oh, what did I say? What did I say?
You said, wait, okay. You said something like, you go, he's got 100,000 followers, and he puts up a video, and it gets 1,000 views. We have 1,100 followers, and we put up and it gets, over 100 views. We have a higher percentage of people watching our videos. Or what did you say about the percentages?
Forget exactly, but we're killing it. That's basically
Yeah,
what it is.
he's only getting 1%. We're getting 2%. It was something inspirational, and I go, save that for the podcast. You already forgot. Damn.
Yeah, I forgot it, but we're doing well. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Okay. Were you really meditating or just taking a nap?
No, I try to just meditate.
Okay. I was like, wow. So what else do you want to talk about? Oh, I know. I got something I want to. I was telling the listeners, I went jogging and found some money, and I realized, you know why I found the money? Because I wasn't on my phone. So many people are out walking and looking down at screens that they're missing the world as they walk by. And like I've never been on a treadmill and found money, so that's why I love getting out there in the real world and like, walking, jogging, getting out there. And have you ever found money before?
Have I ever found money?
Yeah, everybody's found money.
Of course. I think I found like $20 once, or that's the most. I never found like anything amazing, but
Yeah, I talked to a girl at Starbucks the other day, and she said that she found $400 once.
in somebody's wallet.
Yeah, I know. She's like, no, it wasn't. She said it was $400 in an envelope, but nobody was around.
Wow.
I know. I was like, wow, that's interesting, And then I think she felt guilty. She goes, but I've also lost money,
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what she said. She did. I know. It's kind of weird though. I was, I'm like, I do find money. Like I was walking one time at night and I saw a bunch of like crumpled up dollars and like $5 and $10. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I don't know why. I don't know why it was on the ground, but
Yeah, I haven't found that much money, but
Let me ask you a question. Would you pick up if you saw a penny, would you pick it up?
I saw a penny. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, see, I don't know if I'd pick up a penny. Now, what a nickel? I'd pick up probably a nickel. Yeah, I would start at a nickel and above.
Well, I guess everybody's different, right?
Yeah, I'd pick up. Yeah, because some people are like, because I asked that girl at Starbucks. She goes, "No, I wouldn't pick up a nickel." She goes, "A dime, I wouldn't pick up." She goes, "A quarter, I would pick up because I do laundry." I'm like, "Oh wow." I felt really cheap when I said yes. I'd pick up a nickel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it depends how broke you are that day, right?
Yeah. See, now I changed my mind on pennies. I started saving pennies again because, I remember when I was probably around 21, I had a friend at the back on the open mic days. He was like, he's like, yeah, he made a lot of sense at the time. He goes, I never save pennies. They just get in the way. Whenever you need, he goes, I've never been in my life, even when I'm dead broke, and been like, oh, a penny would save me. He goes, so when I see a penny, they give me a penny. He goes, I just chuck them out. I just throw them out the window, or I throw them out in the parking lot. He goes, give kids something to look for. You'll make a kid's day, or give a homeless person. They're always scrounging around looking down anyways. Give them something to make their day. I'm like, he's right. So for like 2 years there, I was throwing out pennies. And then I realized, like, you know what, though? I'm not that, hey, listen, maybe I should be saving. And especially once we had the kid. Once we have a son, I'm like, no, that's when you got to, like, put it towards, like, piano lessons or braces or college fund or, my son's future podcast equipment or whatever.
You start training him to pick up pennies, right? Austin,
pick up pennies. I don't know if he would do. He might think it's dirty, It's like he's like, kids are different now, Back when we were kids, we used to find stuff and pick it up.
Yeah.
So I looked up some stuff, of course, like on the penny, like there's the expression, a penny saved is a penny earned.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a good way to think. That's a way, if you want to think about saving money as a comic, I look at it like this. Even when you're headlining, budget your money like you're still featuring.
Right.
Here's another one I saw. Watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves.
Oh, that's good.
That's good, right? How about this? Few people know so clearly what they want. Most people can't even think what to hope for when they throw a penny in a fountain. Here's
wow. You should put these on a Hallmark card or something.
Directly from Google, which he Googled. He's putting them right in the... Yeah, I didn't come up with this. Here's one. Yeah. Here's one from Al Capone. I like this. Be careful who you call your friends. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. That's pretty good. Oh, I like this. Human beings have the remarkable ability to turn nothing into something. They can turn weeds into gardens and pennies into fortunes. I like that.
Well.
Anyways, enough of the penny talk.
No, let's keep talking about pennies.
All right, I got another. Okay, shall we?
No, I'm kidding.
I know, but I would tell you this: when I was a kid, pennies were worth more. In fact, it was a fashion statement inspired by Michael Jackson. Do you remember the shoes, the penny loafers?
Oh, right.
Remember? And what would you do? You take the little penny and you stick it right in there in the penny loafers, make your shoes all shiny and cool.
I do remember that.
We must sound really old to people that don't. You know what I mean? Like, hey, son, we used to put pennies on our shoes. You know?
Fascinating.
I know. Fascinating podcast. What else do you want to talk about? You got? Do you have any? I saw something. This guy got his ass beat because he had a tattoo of. I want to say was it Taiwan? A Taiwan flag or something on his chin, and Taiwan on his forehead, and he was drunk, and then these guys beat him up or something. I thought that was the worst. Like, who does that? Why would you do that? What's the weirdest tattoo you've seen, or the ugliest tattoo? Do you? I'll start. I don't know if it's the ugliest, but it was one of the weirdest ones. Back in my early 20s, I used to do this Bart Simpson impression, and I remember this dude. He had a tattoo on his arm of Bart Simpson flipping the bird. And at the time, it was kind of cool. You know, it was like, "Whoa, that's cool, man, Bart Simpson." But I'm sure as time goes by, and especially if one day, Bart gets taken off the air or whatever, it's going to be like, "Why would you have that on your arm?" But then again, it's a cartoon. It's not like it's something bad. It's not like Bill Cosby. I had Bill Cosby on my arm, and then years later, it's like, dude, why do you have a tattoo of Bill Cosby on your arm?
Yeah, it'd be one thing if like tattoos like increase in value over time, but they don't.
Oh, decrease or increase?
Increase in value.
Oh yeah, they usually decrease, right?
Some monetary value if you get a tattoo. Then I would see the incentive between the parts, but there's really no point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, do you invest in comic books? Yeah, they're all sealed in my basement, and I'm going to one day sell them. I also have these cool back tattoos that just keep rising up in value.
Yeah, but I've seen I mean, people get whatever, dude. I've seen so many, like, just, the best is like when people get their ex-girlfriends' names and they like criticross it out or whatever.
Yeah.
But they truly don't care, so they're trying to put like a dragon over it or something. So you see like crystal, and it has like fire out of crystal.
I know. I'm not a big tattoo guy. I have no tattoos. Do you have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, it's like that old joke. I think even Sebastian Maniscalco says it. Like, why would I put a bumper sticker on a Lamborghini?
Yeah, I mean, I know a bunch of tattoo jokes, but I don't know of any tattoos.
Oh, you have tattoo jokes?
No, I've heard them over the years. I've got a tattoo of a freckle. I got a tattoo of a 12-inch dick. What, stupid dick jokes.
Really, a 12-inch dick?
I don't know, just stupid stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I even had some tattoo jokes. I said, "What was my best?" No, they're all stupid. You're right. They're all. Now that you say it like that, I'm like, yeah, they're all whatever. I did. What was my best one? It's not even that good. I just said I could never get a tattoo because I got freckles and it would mess up the picture. It'd be like, hey, look at my army tank. It's rusty.
That's funny.
That one's pretty funny. And then after that, it just went downhill. But it would get big laughs in crazy like blue collar rooms where I'd be like, well, this is kind of old, but I would be like, you ever get some tattoos with some flies on your shoulders, some flies on your neck? If you're bald, get flies on your head. Hey, why do you have flies on you? And you could be like, 'cause I'm the shit.
Right.
Which I actually made into a T-shirt at the time, and it was a white T-shirt, and it had black flies all over it, and on the back it would say, "I'm the shit," and nobody would ever buy it, like in a nice place like Hermosa, like Comedy Magic Club, but like if I was in Bakersfield, people would cut in line to buy it. I swear to you, this guy goes, "I want 4 of them," He's like, "We're gonna wear it on my softball team." I'm like, "Yes."
You should just do tattoos to your fans after shows.
Just like put on like the surgical mask and just give people tattoos.
Yeah, I'll give people Derek Carter tattoos after the show. Huge line.
That's awesome. Have you ever do you sell merch after your shows?
I don't.
Do you is that something you're gonna do?
That's the end of that question. That's the end of that question.
You sell merch. You're like, what shows? I know, because you were telling me about that stupid. Because here's the thing about comics: we're always working and trying to get better, and we'll do anything. Someone's like, okay, you want to do this gig? Let's do it. And like Joey Diaz, man, he's gonna do a Netflix special. He still goes down to like a real open mic. That place that you were telling me about, I went there for.
Do you think it really goes there, honestly?
I don't know. He says he does, and he said it several times on the podcast. And I think someone else said they saw him. The only part that I found odd was that I think that you got to pay $5 to get on stage, and he's like, "Yeah, I give the guy the $5. I get up there and I thought, I was like, that's odd. Like a big star like him is gonna like pay $5 to. But whatever though. He says he likes to be around that because it takes him back to being like before he made it or whatever. Before he would, takes him back to that level of like, like Eye of the Tiger, like Rocky, going back to the gym, you don't only do that. You put that in the mix. Like last night I saw him in front of a packed room at the Comedy Store.
Okay, that's retarded. Okay, come on, dude. Like most celebrities will just go to like the improv. Nobody goes to. Come on. You think Zach goes to
but listen, we're talking about it, so I mean, maybe it's good publicity. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll do it tonight. And then that's funny. But at my level, it's not shocking. They're like, yeah, I could see that.
Because here's the thing: it's like why when you can get up anywhere, just in terms of comedy, you'd want the best audience to try out a joke. Why would you go to an open mic when it's jaded comedians? You'd want to try it out in front of a good audience. So even going to like a Comedy Store on a slow night's 100 times better than going into an open mic, the best open mic in town. So I just don't see the point of it.
I know. I realize that I might have to shut this podcast down a little bit. My family's coming home, and I like to record when there's nobody here, so it's quiet and I can actually have a real talk. I don't know when they're coming home, so I'm like,
okay, whatever you want to do.
I know. I'm like, did she even text me back? I text my wife, hey, don't come home until 7, but I don't know. I don't want them to be like, we got shit to do. Like, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so yeah, anything else you'd like to? Okay, listen. So you've revamped your YouTube channel. I love it. It's called Tarun Thinks.
It's called Think Tarun Productions.
Oh, Think Tarun Productions. Because there's some other Tarun Shettys out there.
Yeah.
But you're the one that we like. I mean, I'm sure the other ones are nice guys, but like.
I'm the original.
The original. So. Yeah, you really revamped that page, man. That looks good.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
I like it. This is good. Are you you know what, man? I'm gonna do something pretty crazy. Like have you heard of David Goggins?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so David Goggins, for those who don't know, you want to tell us a little bit about who it is? It's he's the guy that was the Navy SEAL, one of the first black Navy SEAls. I'm not first black, but there's like 36 that have done it, 35, and he was like a guy who lost a bunch of weight, joined the military, made weight. Then he's like, I want to be a Navy SEAL. Did it. He runs ultra marathons. He's very, inspirational guy to follow on Instagram. Can you think of anything else?
He just has this way about the way he speaks. He's very motivational.
Yeah, where he's like, I want to, he like, I think he broke like the pull-up contest, like I forget how many pull-ups, but it was a bunch of pull-ups within a short amount of time.
Yeah, no, definitely guy who pushes the boundaries and deserves everything he has.
Yeah, he's run ultra marathons, like doing like 200 miles and 100 miles. So I don't know if you can hear this, but I'm gonna play this for you. This was yesterday. He's flipping a tire down a country road. I want you to, if you can hear this. If not, I'll just tell you what happened.
Well, I'm a big believer in doing something that sucks every single day of your life. I believe it's a key component into strengthening your mind. Every day you're trying to find more of what you're capable of. And that's the big question. What are you capable of? Stop doing the things that you do every day. If you run every day, go swim. I'm not a big tire flipper, but flipping a tire, one tire for a mile, it'll definitely build something. So I'm all about callousing the mind.
All about callousing the mind, doing something that sucks, something that you're uncomfortable with. Were you able to hear that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, so the thing I'm gonna do, and I was a little nervous to do this. I mean, I'm gonna do it, man. Like, this guy, there was there's been like 3 suicides at a local high school, and I know a guy. I went to his he's a really cool guy. He's like one of the local preachers, and I haven't been to church that often, but I went on Easter Sunday. It was cool. It was outdoors. It was like at this, outdoor thing, and it was great, man. It was inspirational. It was like, 50, like it was like a 15, maybe the whole thing was like 15 minutes. It was really short. It was short, sweet, to the point. I felt like just the energy of the people there were for the greater good. He asked me, he goes, I want to do a thing. I want to start a page and a thing called, I think it's called Find the Joy. And he goes, I want to, find choose joy, or maybe it's called Choose Joy, something like that. Something about joy. And he goes, what I'd like to do basically is like, greet people, like, because I know he does. I see him sometimes at the elementary school, but he wants to go to like the high school next year and just say hi to people as they're coming in. Just let them know someone cares. Someone that doesn't have to be there is there. I'm not a teacher. He goes, I'm not a coach. I'm just, person. Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, when he first said it, I was like, man, I go, dude, I gotta be honest. It took me right back to being in high school. Like I got nervous. I was like, they're gonna call me a nerd and try to stuff me in a locker, And he's like, no, and because he's already done it. He's already started doing that. And it's like, and I thought, man, that's going back to David Goggins' point. That kind of takes me out of the comfort zone of like, wow, okay. And, but really, what am I doing? I mean, I don't know. It's like volunteer, but it's not that hard. It's like, it could be a little embarrassing at first. And I got to get up early, which is, for a comic. But other than that, I mean, dude, why not?
Sure.
Steve Simone from Good Times Podcast, he volunteers at children's hospitals. I mean, that's pretty heavy. That's really, you got to really prepare yourself for that,
Yeah.
But anyways, I talked to that guy earlier today about that.
That's a good idea, man.
It is, huh? It's good. Doesn't it it feels good to help others too, right? Love that.
Yeah, man. I think you got to do whatever feels right for you.
What do you do? Let me ask you a question before we get off. I like to ask people what they do to make themselves happy. Like, what's something they do that where they know, like, if I do this, I'm gonna tilt the needle in my favor to have a good day. Should I start?
I mean, sure.
Okay. What I like to do, there's a couple things I like to do. Number one, if I get up a little bit earlier than normal, I usually have a better day. Like if I get a full like 8 or 9 hours of sleep, sure, it feels good, but that means I'm getting up later, and I always feel like I'm behind. I'm like, oh man, I'm getting up. But if I get up a little bit, if I have like 6 hours of sleep, that means, okay, I'm up earlier. I'm up at like 8 a.m. or, and then I get stuff done. I start being productive. I start producing stuff, even if it's, writing some stuff or getting a video together or a photo together. That's one thing that kind of gets me in a good mood. Exercising early in the day gets me in a good mood. Calling a friend, having a good conversation, social interaction can definitely help me get in a good mood. And music, I love music, can get me in a good mood. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think exercise, music, definitely. I think being productive writing is a big thing for me. Just slowing down and breathing. That's also a big thing, which I try to be more aware of.
Slowing down and breathing.
Yeah, just being more conscious and not being so goal oriented.
That's right, man. I had a great conversation with my buddy from the Full Charge Power Hour, Matt Fulcheron. Man, that dude. I go, I feel better. Like, and I noticed a lot of these podcasters that I know personally, it seems like they're happier once they started their podcast. And he goes, you know what it is? Because they're doing something that gives them. They're not just waiting around for stage time. They're they have an idea, they have the program that they're putting together, and he goes, and this is good, to be happy with the process, not always the results, because if you put something out and you're like, oh, how come only 100 people watch this or whatever, as opposed to like if you're trying to lose, if a guy's like, I want to lose weight, and they're like on a treadmill and they're like, I haven't lost 1 pound, I quit. But if you look at a surfer, they're like, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. because I love to surf, and they're going to surf, and then they can eat 2 cheeseburgers in front of you and still have an 8-pack.
Yep.
Because
Totally.
the process is what they like. The results, whatever,
Totally. Yeah, I think you hit it right in the head.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, I really appreciate you coming in and coming in. I appreciate you answering the phone and taking this call. And dude, what can I say? Is there anything you'd like to plug before we let you go?
No, just check us out when we do our next show together.
Tarun Shetty, Darren Carter. And we have some videos together on YouTube. Check out my channel, Darren Carter, on YouTube. You will see a couple videos that we've shot. Like there's one, I think I called it like comedians in cars. One's getting coffee and one's just driving, not drinking coffee or something. and you usually see him at the end of my videos, that little sketch that we do. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's right. But no, thanks for having me, Darren. I appreciate it.
Dude, you're the best, man. Tarun, thank you so much.
All right, bud. Take
Okay,
care.
and what's the name of your podcast?
It's called Shoot the Shetty.
Shoot the Shetty. And you do it with a buddy, a family friend. You guys both happen to have the same last name.
Yeah. It's good.
That's cool. All right, buddy. I'll catch you later.
Hi, Darren. Have a
Thank
good day.
you. Bye. Wow, how cool was that? Wow, I'm back by myself again. All right. Hold on. Let me see if my wife never responded, so I don't know if she's going to come into that door at any minute or what's going to happen. Let's find out. Hold on. I'm going to wrap it up. Hold on. I am still doing the interview. When are you coming home? ? Boom. I don't want any surprises. Anyways, that is about it, guys. I want to thank you guys for listening to Pocket Party. You guys are awesome. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, or send me an email and I'll answer all fan email on the podcast. Send me an email either at comediandarrencarter@gmail.com, or send me a message on Instagram at official Darren Carter. You can message me on Facebook. Whatever the easiest way is for you to get a message to me, and I will collect them and do that. And it looks like they're walking in right now. So I'm about to wrap up the podcast right now. Does Austin want to say goodbye? Austin, come on in. Family just came in. I think he's shy. It's just me. I'm ending it right now. Do you want to say goodbye to the people? Yeah, just say bye. Just say bye. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for listening. And I'm gonna hit stop. And my son's a little shy. You'll hear him on future episodes. He's not shy. He says he's not shy. Just say bye, everybody. He doesn't want to do. He just doesn't want to. He's a little tired. All right. Hey, listen, guys. Thanks again. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.